there is an elephant in the courtroom. Do elephants belong in a courtroom? Probably not. Probably not. But then again, they also don't belong in a circus or a traveling zoo. Of course, there isn't literally an elephant in a courtroom, but their future as circus performers and traveling zoo exhibits is currently being debated in courthouses across the country. To understand why is to understand what life is like for these elephants, and how legislation, lawmakers, and the public may be able to help determine their fate. Everything that an elephant does, from giving rides to performing tricks, is taught to the animal through pain or fear of pain. As infants, elephants are captured from the wild and then undergo a training process known as fajan, which means elephant crushing. Yes, it's as bad as it sounds. Elephant crushing is a method used to break the spirit of an elephant through a process that utilizes physical and emotional pain with the goal of taming the elephant for domestication purposes. Bull hooks, electric prods, and chains are all common tools used to train and control elephants, each likely to cause physical and psychological harm in the process. Many recognize that this practice is unacceptable. There has been a trend developing towards a human-only circus, with 40 countries banning or prohibiting the use of wild animals in circuses. There's also legislation in the works in various U.S. states. Circus and zoo animals are typically considered to be property and don't retain the rights of a human being. The animal rights group Non-Human Rights Project is trying to change elephant statuses from that of property to that of beings with basic fundamental rights and liberties, arguing that courts should recognize that wild animals ought to remain in their natural environment. In the Connecticut lawsuit, 3 elephants under the ownership of the Comerford Zoo have been at center stage in a years-long battle. Their names are Beulah, Karen, and Minnie. Beulah died at the Big E in West Springfield on September 15th, 2019. Because of the businesses like Comerford Zoo and the Big E, she never had a chance to live, Non-Human Rights Project said in a statement released shortly after Beulah died. Under the threat of a bull hook, the Comerford Zoo stole from Beulah her freedom and anything resembling a natural existence for an elephant. Shortly after Beulah's death, the U.S. Department of Agriculture also confirmed that Karen had died in March of 2019. Minnie is now on her own. Captured in 1967 from the wild in Thailand, Minnie was sold to a buyer in the United States when she was only 2 months old. After brief stints in Florida and New Jersey, where she was already being used as a performer, Minnie was eventually sold to the zoo in 1976, where she's been held ever since. The Connecticut Supreme Court has dismissed the petition to grant Minnie personhood rights more than once. I don't know what Minnie's fate will be, but I have hope. I hope her life does not end the same as that of her companions. I hope she is offered refuge at a sanctuary, and I hope that Connecticut leads by example, recognizing that elephants belong in the wild, not circuses, traveling zoos,